Welcome to My Tag Gaming, and we are back in Grand Tactician: The Civil War. The Whiskey and Lemons DLC has finally arrived, and I've selected the East 1861 campaign, which has the DLC content, and we're going to start a new career and see what this is all about. We start over here. Oh, we get to pick a flag. Let's see. Hardy. That's probably the Stonewall Brigade. Polk, I think. Let's see here. That's Virginia. Get the state flags. I think that's Georgia. We'll go with that. Nickname. Let's see, what's a good nickname for us? MTG. We're going to be from the great state of Georgia. 21 and 32. Yeah, that works. All right, let's see here. Which of the following best describes your background? I was born in America and lived there. I was born outside of America but immigrated. I had a life outside of America, but the adventurer I am. I moved there to take part in... Okay, I am a professional officer outside of America and decided to offer my services when the Civil War began. Let's say I was born there. I think that works. Okay, let's see here. Next question. Did you participate in the previous conventional war fought by the United States? Yes, I volunteered. Junior officer commanding my small unit. I'm going to go with... We volunteered to fight as a private or non-commissioned officer. I want to start towards the bottom. Did I study at West Point? Let's say this. We fought in the Mexican War as an NCO, and then we're allowed to go to West Point. Let's see here. Which one of these? I mean, with these as the options, I kind of want to just go with no. Let's see what that gets us. When the Civil War began, how did you get your commission? I really like this first one. When there was a call for militia, I volunteered, and I was soon elected to command. We've also got when there was a call for militia, I used my personal prestige and money to organize and equip a company of soldiers. I'm not going to play as Nathan Bedford Forrest or Wade Hampton or a few of the others who actually did raise their own units. Due to my political influence, I was offered a commission. I'm not feeling that we went into politics. I joined a state militia unit years ago and moved up the ladder thanks to my good status among the men of the unit. I like this one. We had a hobby as a militiaman. Which of the following best describes your motivation to fight in the Civil War? I want to protect the Constitution and the values and rights I believe in. I want to defend my home, family, and loved ones. I want to experience new adventures in an interesting career. I always wanted to be a decorated war hero. I like that this, I want to protect the Constitution and the values and rights I believe in, is true of both North and South. Just in one, that's preserving the Union, and in the other, values and rights would be slavery. So, I think I would have fought to defend my home, family, and loved ones. It's still kind of, I mean, for an individual, I think it makes sense. I'm also not sure of that portrait. Yeah, that's more me. Which of the following best portrays your reaction if during the war you were ordered to do something you thought controversial? I would keep my feelings to myself and carry out the orders as it is my duty as a soldier and an officer. Demand a written order before following it through. The one giving the order has the responsibility after all. Probably. I would object, explaining my moral dilemma to him, hoping he would retract the order. I would tell the person in question that he is very slow and should commit such humbug himself and then walk away. I would demand written orders. Yeah, fought in the Mexican-American War, been in the militia. Like, you would know some military decorum. I think that's the proper course of action. How would you describe your relationship with religion? My life is all about serving a higher power and fulfilling his will among the sinful men. I attend sermon regularly, as one does, and try to live according to religious values. I'm not religious per se, but I try to live according to the ethical norms set in my society by the religious community to keep me out of trouble. Religion is merely a tool to control the simple-minded masses. That's 100% me. If insulted by a fellow officer, how would you most likely react? Turn the other cheek, gaining a moral high ground. I would forgive them who trespasses against me, like I always do. I would abstain from punching the rascal and offer a fine set of insults back at him instead. I would avenge any insult tenfold, making sure the person would never again mutter a word against me. In this case, yeah, I'm not that vengeful. Which of the following pastime activities do you enjoy the most? Parties, wine, going out with my posse, and enjoying life to the fullest. You only live once. Okay. Social events where I can mingle with other people and exchange interesting thoughts. Reading books, constructing ship models in bottles, and other solitary activities where I can relax without too much of a social pressure. I could sit by a creek for ages watching and listening the water flow. Of these, I would go with this. Although, you know what? That's actually probably more true. How do you assume your best friends describe you to someone who does not know you? A quick-witted fellow, the life of any party. A well-liked person of good manners and taste, fitting the social status of an officer and a gentleman. A good and hard-working soldier with a promising career ahead of me. I haven't really asked nor care what their opinion of others is. Everyone cares what the opinion of others is, even if you proclaim otherwise. I would go with this. I think, yeah. Which of the following is most important for an officer commanding men into battle? An officer must go through all the same hardships and dangers as any soldier in his unit, and maybe even more. Definitely have led by example my whole life, so that probably is going to be the one. Personal example to encourage the men, even if it compromises personal safety. Compassion towards fellow soldiers is most important. One should not place them in unneeded danger or risk. It's kind of a James Longstreet approach. Administrative skills. However dull it sounds, sloppy paperwork result in many unneeded casualties in the military. Very true. I'm gonna go with this one because it is me. However, I agree 100% that administrative skills and logistics are probably the most important thing. Which of the following virtues do you excel at more than the others? Hunting dangerous beasts, animals, and men alike. I have no fear, and I'm captivated by the prospect of a killing shot. Wow. Swordsmanship and horse riding. Both are proper officer skills, and I will inspire my subordinates to trust my martial prowess. Planning, logistics, and handling complicated staff work. These are skills soldiers don't know to appreciate until someone fails at them. Penmanship and beautiful handwriting. It's important that the dispatches you sent will clearly and unequivocally communicate your will to the men doing the fighting. It's actually probably going to be this one. Yeah. Alright. If confronted with disagreement among your peers, which of the following reactions describes you best? I ignore the opposite opinion, as I know I am always right. The others will learn it soon enough too. I remain calm and defend my point of view even if the others try to convince me otherwise. Bickering is not worth it. I'd rather give in a bit and get along with others. I am sure they will follow the example at a later point when I need support. No, they never do. I usually lose my temper and snap. I have no time for the stupidity that seems to surround me wherever I go. I remain calm. That's probably one of the things I'm best known for. Which of the following do you enjoy the most? Impressing the others with epic stories about my accomplishments. Solving puzzles like mathematical equations or hands-on problems. Order and silence that keep me calm and help me think. Watching a fire. You do it for hours on end. It soothes me. You know, watching a fire is very fun. But considering that I love games and things of that nature, I think I have to go with solving puzzles. Which of the following descriptions for Americanism is most accurate in your opinion? It's about breaking shackles and universal equality among all men. Everyone should have equal opportunities no matter what their background. Yes, absolutely. America should be a leader and a beacon of progress and freedom in the world. It's all about the good old values and the freedom to forge your destiny the way you want, and not according to expectations of others, especially those of the government. The divine destiny of America is expansion and taking what rightfully belongs to us. Well, probably not necessarily appropriate for a Georgian in 1861. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Which of the following, in your opinion, is the main cause of this terrible ordeal, the American Civil War? The evil of slavery, plain and simple, and ending it for good. Yes, that's the only main cause. It's because the southern states seizing federal property and attacking the United States. I am a southerner here. It's about individual states' rights to self-govern the way they see fit. Too much centralized political control doesn't properly take into account regional needs. Slavery. It's about the federal government and the liberal radicals attacking the southern way of life and trying to force people to give up their God-given freedoms. I mean, if I'm playing a character from Georgia, it's got to be C or D. I mean, B is actually the only one that really is different. That's too much centralized political. Trying to force people. This is a tough one because realistically, it's A. But being from playing a avatar from Georgia, I would not say A. I don't even think Patrick Claiborne, who did propose freeing the slaves, would have even said that it was an evil from the get-go. I'm going to go with the individual states' rights to self-govern. Which of the following best describes the goals you have for your military career? I want to become an important and influential general admired by all. I want to serve my country proudly, and if need be, lay my life for the benefit of others. Most importantly, I want to see the elephant. I want to have an interesting life full of adventure to see the world. You know what? This would be closest to my own thoughts. In comparing military career with other possible options, which of the following best describes its benefits? The social events, parties, and the admiring attention of the opposite sex. All this in a stunning-looking uniform. It's a stable job with a sufficient wage and a sense of purpose. I get to see the world, to meet interesting people, and to kill them if required. Okay. In the military, you have the best opportunity to serve a higher power, to be an instrument of God and His divine plan. Well, I think I've already eliminated D. And to kill them if required? I mean, You get to see the world. That definitely would be probably one of the more beneficial things. I think I'm going here. Which of the following legendary Americans of recent times do you admire the most? John Brown, who bravely fought for equity among men. George Washington, the greatest general and the first president. Yeah, not really the greatest general. Andrew Jackson, a great general and president who worked hard to preserve the union of the states. Zachary Taylor, a war hero of the Mexican War and progressive president unwilling to yield to political pressure. I mean, I think that almost all Americans 80 years into the founding of the country would probably still be saying George Washington. In your opinion, which of the following descriptions best fits the nature of contemporary warfare? Modern weapons have such overwhelming firepower that it's almost impossible to overcome a well-prepared defensive position. Yes. It's all about maneuvering around the enemy's flanks and to cut his lines of communication. Essentially, to win the battles before even fighting them. Yes. Nothing in essence has changed. It's still the well-drilled and disciplined lines of infantry breaking through the enemy, ultimately in a timely bayonet charge. That would be Stonewall Jackson. War is nothing but a duel on a larger scale, a dynamic, inherently unstable interaction of the forces of violent emotion, chance, and rational calculation. Wow. So basically, I would say firepower maneuver, which at this time, it's probably firepower, because you don't really get back into maneuver until the Franco-Prussian War. And figuring out loose formation and stuff like that, which would come from an understanding of the overwhelming firepower. So I think that's kind of the step we're at now with the U.S. Civil War, and it would be after that maneuver became an important way to deal with the overwhelming firepower. Ooh! Your unit is advancing in open terrain. It comes under fire from a well-covered position. The men refuse to advance. What do you do? I'd order them to fix bayonets and quickly charge across the open into melee. With my hat in my raised sword, it's difficult not to follow such an example. So you say. I would order a screen of skirmishers forward to engage the enemy while maneuvering the main body to a better position. Probably. I would fall back and find a way to flank the enemy. There's no need to engage on the enemy's terms. I would calm the men down and have them fire back. They couldn't hit an elephant at this distance while I'm getting shot. Yeah, best course here. Screen of skirmishers forward, maneuver the main body to a better position to actually enfilade fire them. A group of volunteers with overdue contracts refuse to fight. When your unit is just about to join the battle, what would you do? Keep them under guard and prosecute them for desertion after battle. As all your soldiers are needed in battle, appoint the men, without weapons, to a regiment of their home state if they don't want to fight. Let it be so. Wow. Send them into battle without weapons? Okay. Have them tried for desertion there and then, and shot as a warning to others who may want to desert. That sounds like Stonewall. Take their weapons and all other military gear, and simply let them find their way home or die trying. Keep them under guard. Prosecute them after the battle. And then again, they have overdue contracts, so prosecution might not go in my favor. It may go in theirs. What is the most important role for cavalry in a modern war? Keeping lines of communications open and delivering orders when required. Charging and breaking wavering enemy lines with cold steel. Scouting ahead of armies and harassing enemy lines of communication. Protecting the supply trains and preventing desertion in the rear of the battle lines. I would say to this, scouting ahead and harassing enemy lines of communication, which, I mean, that's basically Stuart, what he did the entire war. So you decent effect. The breaking lines with cold steel, we're going right back to the firepower. And yeah, that doesn't work. Communications to your commander are lost, and an overwhelming enemy force is moving your way. What do you do? Stand and fight to the last man if needed, as were your last orders. Giving ground could endanger the whole army. To lead the battle, while you personally ride to find your commander for his instructions. Prepare to fight a delaying action to avoid high casualties, even if it endangers your commander's battle plan. Take this great opportunity to prove your military prowess and charge the enemy head-on. Winning here would be the stuff of legends. Yeah, you're overwhelmingly outnumbered and you're just going to charge in and somehow win. I mean, you have to be flexible, especially when orders are lost. I would say delaying action to avoid high casualties, but better to fight another day than to just get annihilated. You were ordered to hold a line, but in front of you there's even better ground. What do you do? Ooh, this sounds like what the peach orchard and wheat field in Gettysburg with sickles. Hold the ground. Orders are orders, and the commander gives them for a reason. Immediately send skirmishers and engineers to inspect the terrain, and a courier to propose relocating your unit to your commander. Take the initiative and move your unit forward to cover the better ground. Your commander will thank you later. Ride yourself to see your commander and propose him deploying further forces in front of you. If he disagrees, then be it. Now, I know the developers here are from Ukraine, so there's some oddities with the grammar. I'm absolutely fine with that. I would take the initiative and send skirmishers and the engineers to inspect the terrain while also proposing it to my commander. You are advancing to flank an enemy position, but the men are dead tired. What would you do? Order a forced march to surprise the enemy, even if only a part of your men can keep up. That sounds like Jackson. Make sure you will reach the flank with fresh troops. Better to engage with rested troops, even if the enemy has time to refuse the flank. Quickly consult your subordinates and let them vote whether it's worth risking engagement with tired men in this situation. Dismount and rush forward with a drawn sword. Men of Georgia, on me, forward, forward. They'll follow their beloved leader to hell if needed. While I don't doubt D, the better military I thought would be better. Well, they refuse the flank. Rested men are still better than exhausted. Which of the following qualities is most important to an officer? Authority, as one needs to make the men follow orders and the rules even in difficult conditions. Personal example, as the soldiers are more likely to follow someone into danger. The ability to think outside the box and not be predictable in battle. The ability to quickly make decisions even if the situation around is unclear. I'm thinking A is good, C is good, and D is good. Personal example, yes, is good for like lower levels of command, and can even inspire when the upper levels show up. Lee tried to take command of organizing troops and frontline actions. The troops always refused to let him do it. It does endear the leader to the officer to the men. But quick decisions, because indecision can be the biggest killer. Look at McClellan. Yeah, I think just being able to make a decision and being able to change that decision. Which of the following qualities in an army is most important in winning wars? Fighting spirit of the men, their love for their country and support of the nation's cause, very important. Unity of command and effort, which allows officers on all levels to take initiative according to commander's intent. Also very important, tactical skills of the commanders who have studied and understood the art of war. Typically, the actual tactical ability of the officers is going to be fairly average. So I don't think that's the most important. Amateurs study tactics, professionals study supply trains and lines of communication. Without a functioning logistical trail, no campaign will succeed. That may be the most true. You could pay people to fight. Unity of command and effort can actually be a part of this. Tactical skills, I mean, you win the battle and lose the war. Good for you. This is what wins wars. Which of the following tactical principles is most important in your opinion? The use of interior lines to quickly shift point of main effort to defeat the enemy one piece at a time. Economic use of forces to always have a reserve and to keep the men alive to fight another day. Yes, that's the George Washington method there. Prudent maneuvering, consolidating lines of communications and logistical nodes before advancing further. Surprise and violence of action are force multipliers that allow even the underdog to prevail against a numerically superior enemy. Lee and Jackson. Defeat the enemy one piece at a time, quickly shifting on interior lines. As far as tactics go, this can be, especially as you start to get into trench warfare, being able to hit single points and then exploit them, probably the most important. This is the final question, and you will soon be in combat. If you could do only one of the following before marching out with your unit, which would it be? I would gather the men and say some inspirational words to motivate them. We have a mission to accomplish. I would go to my home church and confess my sins. I want to have everything in order with the Lord in case I am to report at the pearly gates prematurely. Would it actually be prematurely, though? It would just be at the appropriate time. I would throw an unforgettable party to my friends. Let the wine flow like this is the last day of my life. It may well be. I would spend the time with my family and loved one. Who knows when I will have the possibility to meet them again. I'm A or C. A or C. I'm actually getting ready to move. And so, yeah, it's going to be less inspirational words and more unforgettable parties, I think, is the way that we say goodbye. Which kind of wraps up a few of these in C. All right. Questionnaire has been finished. So I'm a captain, a veteran, and a volunteer. I'm outrageous. Your morals are not what is expected in the 19th century American society. Things most people in the church consider sins are just fun and games to you. Many find you outrageous and you don't want to have anything to do with you. And then unflinching. You are known to be cool as ice under pressure. It's like the stress of leadership in battle doesn't affect you at all. We're cautious in initiative, but 3 stars, so that's good. Administration. We are lacking in leadership and cunning. Sure, those will come up. Let's see here. We have 900 prestige and a decent amount of money, it looks like. 5,600. All right. Let's sign up. Okay. So, point command. Sir, you will be granted command of one of the following units. We have the 8th Georgia Infantry, 2nd Brigade, Army of Shenandoah, 11th Georgia Infantry, McLaw's Brigade, Army of the Peninsula. Don't think we'll see much action down there. 6th Georgia Infantry in the Army of the Peninsula. 3rd Georgia Infantry in the Department of Norfolk. 1st South Carolina Infantry, 1st Brigade, Army of the Potomac. 7th South Carolina Infantry, 1st Brigade, Army of the Potomac. Or 7th Virginia Cavalry, Army of the Shenandoah. Got a little bit more down here. 11th Virginia Cavalry, Porterfield's Division, Army of the Northwest. 1 Washington Artillery, 4 guns, 2nd Brigade, Army of the Potomac. Or the Purcell Artillery, 4 guns, 8th Brigade, Army of the Potomac. Can I look and see? So up here we've got the option of the 8th Georgia, which is this one. Mixed muskets under Bartow. Okay. Do have the Wise Artillery and the Pelham in that brigade. Okay. What about Army of the Peninsula, 5th Louisiana, 11th Georgia, Army of the Peninsula, Norfolk, or South Carolinians in the Army of the Potomac? Let me pull that one up. What do we got? 1st Brigade. So that's going to be Bonham. Got the 1st South Carolina, 2nd. Okay, some good company there. So it would be... Here we go. 1st or 7th. So we'd actually take the place of Maxie Gregg. Interesting. I do want to command Georgians to start with. I think we take the 8th Georgia here under Bartow. 1,000 men. So we have the 8th. Let's back out of this. Current orders, no orders. Move to character. Here we are. Just outside of Harper's Ferry. We can get a look at the map. Goes down to South Carolina. Georgia's actually a trade node. That's interesting. So we get all of North Carolina, all of Virginia. Well, almost all of Virginia. I guess we can head into Preston. Oh. Prestonburg off-map status. Interesting. Okay, so Ohio, yes. Kentucky, no. Jonesboro. Oh, that's, so Tennessee, Kentucky and Tennessee are off limits. This is going to be a small portion of Georgia. With nothing in it. Okay. As we go north, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Jersey. They get New York. Okay, so they the Union forces pretty much get the entire thing. The only things that are actually off limits are Tennessee and Kentucky. Okay. Fair enough. So we're in the Army of the Shenandoah, commanding the 8th Georgia. Can I upgrade weapons? Can I order? Doesn't look like it. The only thing available are plains rifles, and yeah. Oh, so there's commander relations. Relationship between me and Joe Johnston is -36. Interesting. Most of these seem to be at 0. Liddell, I am negative. Am I positive with anyone? Come on, there's got to be another center in this group. Does not look like it. Interesting. Negative with Stewart by 20%. They don't seem to get the personality traits, maybe, that... Ooh, Chatham Wheat. I like that, Huh. Alright, history, unit, okay. What else do we have here? Let's see. Money, prestige, so we still have 730 prestige. Lee is General-in-Chief. Okay. So we can't order fleets or weapons. Apply for commands. Okay. No access to finances. Policies. Probably don't have... Yeah, no access, really. Just get to see what they are. Probably don't have too much to do with those things. Okay, here's us. Rank progression 0%. We're a lieutenant colonel. Next rank is colonel. Let's see. Weight 170 pounds. Good food and camp life are adding to your weight. While a higher weight slows down your movement in battle, flyweights won't be able to stand their ground well in hand-to-hand combat. Interesting. 90% health and fitness. Food quality, campaigning, and bad weather are influencing your health. The lower your health, the higher the probability of getting sick. Oh wow, we rank the insignificant and outrageous commander of the 8th Georgia Infantry. We're below Leonidas Polk. I'm kind of surprised Prince John is this low. He did a pretty good job of holding McClellan off on the peninsula. Let's see here. Improved provisions. Hire a servant cook to improve your rations with locally purchased fresh ingredients and some treats from time to time. Negative 1.5 money per week. Negative 0.1 health per week. And 0 pounds per week. Okay. Headquarters. Adjutant. Officers are entitled to a confidential assistant known as an adjutant, or at higher commands, an aide-de-camp. The aide's duties include writing and delivering orders. This is a position of responsibility since he must know troop positions and where officer quarters are located. Aides-de-camp are officers by virtue of this position and only take orders from their commanders. The second command and a quartermaster. Can I hire a quartermaster? Okay, so this is going to take prestige. John Hunt Morgan. Mosby. Oh, I can hire some interesting characters here. So staff effects, supply efficiency plus 40%, 45, 47.1 if I get Lieutenant Arthur P. Bagby Jr. I mean, this is a Georgia brigade. Shouldn't we have someone... I mean, these are Virginians. Okay, right is Georgia. I think I'm going right. Second command? Is there anybody from Georgia? I'll start there. Virginia, Alabama. Lieutenant Colonel Camille AJM de Polignac. Fletcher Archer, Virginia, Texas. Administration plus 7. Plus 6.5. Plus 5.5. Ripley. Yeah, because you headed towards from South Carolina over. Ooh, adjutant. Okay, so you're new. Can I get where you're from? Arkansas. I mean, I kind of want Mosby as my adjutant. All right, we spent about half of our prestige on that. Actions. What do we got here? Study operations. Purchase books and maps and other materials needed to study operations to learn from the grand tacticians of the past. Studying operations will increase initiative by 10, a half star. Initiative is already very high. You can study leadership. Okay, study logistics. So basically $500 for half a star. Reassurance. Lately you have seen too many incidents and you're unsure about your future as an officer. Seek reassurance to decrease your chances for further incidents. Not there yet. Are you in a bitter disagreement with many of your fellow officers? Reconcile in order to decrease personal tensions. I don't have any grudge. Well, Joe Johnston, but not enough prestige for a confession. Fat camp. Lost 40 pounds? Hold on. We'd be 130 pounds? Damn. Fundraising. Use your personal prestige to raise money for your own use, of course. Increases money by 500. Gamble. Stocks are expensive and fundraisers boring. Gamble instead. You will make some profits, but too much gambling may get you into all kinds of trouble. Buy stocks. Invest to get richer. Put aside some money into railroad stocks. The money will have a 10% annual profit, meaning each year your money will increase by 11. That would be 110%. I think I want to buy stocks, though. I have the free money right now. Throw a party. Spend some money to throw a proper party for your fellow officers. This will earn you... Okay, so $200 for 250 prestige. Political rally. Ooh. So this is just bigger. 1,000 prestige for $1,000. Let's see here. Fame and fortune. You need to command at least a division to execute this. Spend a hefty sum of money to throw a proper party for celebrating yourself and your achievements. Fame is increased by 1 star for 1,000. Logistics Corps. Okay, so these I need to be a division commander for. But 400 prestige increases supply efficiency and medical care of your unit. Signal Corps, 400 prestige for decrease in order delays. Half a star to fame for infantry specialist. Or at least a brigade there. Cavalry specialist, half a star on fame. Artillery specialist, half a star on fame. Engineer Corps, same thing. Volunteers wanted, $50 bounty. Use your personal prestige to organize and lead a recruitment campaign. This will increase the number of recruits available for your nation and the number of recruits re-enlisting when their contract ends. Okay. To arms. Fund a recruitment campaign. This will increase the number of recruits available for your nation. Okay. And buy supplies. When the military supply system fails you, you can always use your own purse to buy supplies to your men. Purchase enough supplies for 5 full units and distribute it amongst your troops. Probably one we would want to do later. For now, I do want to buy stocks. I think that's... And that'll take how long? 110 days. Biography. We were born in America and lived in Georgia. Yeah. Command. Alright. That's background. Battles. Headquarters. Oh, okay. Promoted to Lieutenant Colonel, assigned Brigade Commander of 8th Georgia. No companions. All right. Hat. That looks ridiculous. Got a bunch of red kepe, but it looks gray here. Oh, is it grayed out? Available at Division Command. Okay, so which one's $25? Brown hat, black hat, gray hat, gray kepi, butternut kepi, and then I think we're into, yeah. So we can go up to the butternut. Am I spending the money every single time? Probably. Let's see here. What did these get me? Pocket flask, a flask to carry into battle. Some, let's say, apple cider. It's a symbol of relaxed officer to carry one around, but a sip in the heat of battle will also ease the nerves. The family Bible. Pack of cigars. A pack of fine Cuban cigars. Amidst the crack of musketry and booming of guns, lighting a cigar and slowly puffing the smoke will show your men they are in good hands. One can also wrap a few in a special orders dispatch to make sure it won't get lost. Just like Lee did, or Lee's adjutants did before Antietam. Let's see here. Whip. The crack of a whip is a sound that initiates an instant reaction. For some, the instinct to work harder and faster. For others, fear. I don't know why I would carry that. Binoculars to help you quickly observe the surroundings, helping in decision making, and thus decreasing order delays. These binoculars are the basic and boring army ones, as opposed to, French binoculars or a Dillon spyglass. So we can get that later. Pocket watch at Brigade Command. Okay, so really, yeah, Army binoculars. And I'm going to go for the cigars. Weapons. Can we get Brigade Command? So we can get an artillery sword, an NCO sword, 1840 model, or an officer's sword. French pattern. Let's do the officer's sword. Colt 1860. Griswold and Gunson. Griswold Cotton Gin Factory in Georgia was leased to the CS government and retooled to make pistols and munitions. The revolvers made with business partner Gunnison are Colt copies made from cheaper materials. An officer coming from Georgia might have that. The Spiller and Burr. Burton was superintendent of the Richmond Armory. And with his partner Edward N. Spiller and David J. Burr, he designed a Confederate clone of the 1836 .36 caliber Colt Navy revolver. Anyone carrying one must have at least some prestige. Smith & Wesson's first .32 caliber revolver that combines size and convenience. Small and handy, preferred by many cavalry officers like George A. Custer. Owning one emanates initiative, courage, and cavalry dash. And then the rest of these, Lamat, yeah, Division Command, and Division Command. I think being from an officer from Georgia, the Griswold Cotton Gin Factory's Colt copies are what we're going for. A mount. So we can get a cavalry horse, an artillery horse, or a plain horse, and it's a horse. It gets you to places, and it's cheap. Artillery horse used to pull heavy limbers and does not panic due to sounds of nearby guns. With such horse, you'll be able to lead any artillery units with better efficiency. Or cavalry horse, a trained cavalry horse with good stamina, especially useful and trusty mount for a cavalry officer, as it allows the rider to do cavalry stuff more efficiently. Cavalry stuff! And we can get a racehorse, a wild horse, a white horse, increases your leadership and morale of men. a Corps Command, or Black Stallion. I mean, yeah, I kind of want the Black Stallion. I mean, a plain horse is cheap by $200 or $300 over the cavalry horse. But I think having a horse that does not panic to sound of nearby guns would be a good thing. So we're going to start with that as our horse. Okay. Now we've been through all of that. Let's go ahead and start the campaign. War, war, war. Lincoln defiant. On to Richmond. Alexandria, Virginia falls to the Union. McClellan moves into Western Virginia. Sewell's Point bombarded. Since the bombardment of Fort Sumter on the 12th and 13th of April 1861, the United and Confederate States of America have been gearing up for a full-blown war. President Lincoln's initial call for 75,000 volunteers has already been augmented with further calls for troops. Likewise, Confederate armies are growing in numbers. So far, actual fighting has been limited. The Union Navy has engaged Confederate coastal defenses in Sewell's Point and Aquia Creek, but to no much avail. But it is clear to everyone following the mustering and deploying of troops that soon there will be a larger scale fighting. After Virginia's secession, Union troops have crossed the Ohio River, securing the mostly Unionist areas in western Virginia. There are rumors of that part of the state preparing to join the Union. Currently, Confederate militias are being formed to prevent such plans. Union troops have also crossed the Potomac and captured Alexandria just across the river to Washington, D.C. Ooh. Disaster at Hampton's Roads. Let's see here. James River Squadron, some 4 ships against the Federal 1st Atlantic Blockading Squadron with some 7 ships. 1 ship lost. Oh, and they go to West Point, of course. Disaster at Wilmington. Oh. Where are they going? They're just going out. Oh, new command. Regiment. You are in command of a single unit that is attached to a higher HQ. Your unit will move as part of it on the campaign map. Your management options are limited to this one unit. You will recognize your unit from the brighter unit NATO symbol in the management panel. Find your unit on the map quickly by clicking the arrow button in the career panel in the top left of the screen. You will lead the unit in battles, receiving orders from your higher-ups. Carrying out these orders and inflicting casualties will increase your prestige. You may advise units on the campaign map to move using your prestige. You may also try to influence policy and project choices. But due to your low position, it's expensive. Okay, so they went to the Fort Macon garrison. There's lots of movement here, but not from us. Porterfield's division, the Army of the Northwest. This is probably McClellan. Department of Norfolk heading to Richmond. Army of the Peninsula heading toward Norfolk? They just switch places? I recently purchased artillery horse. Money well spent. Battle of Hampton. Disaster at Hampton. Total casualties of 500. That's... Reports coming in. Oh. Well, we're still just sitting here. Money. Okay. Regular salary is 4.33. Our food and provisions is 1.15. Okay. That's good. We had... Let's see here. Camp life starts to get boring. Endless drill and inspections. No action. Okay. We're ready for some action, it sounds like. Oh, I don't have the prestige to even ask that. Is Manassas going to happen without us? Today I was told by the other officers I was getting chubby. Probably just my uniform has shrunk. Really? Oh, so we are gaining weight. Yeah, let's go with... What do we got? Army provisions, improved provisions, fine dining, and hot cuisine. Which I could just barely afford, but we would get really fat. Army provisions, we're losing weight. Let's do that. So, 1st Division, Army of Pennsylvania under Winfield Scott is going up against the Army of Shenandoah under Joseph E. Johnston. Looks like they outnumber us by maybe 5,000. Let's prepare to do our duty. Okay, let's get rid of this stuff. Looks like we've got unclaimed objectives. This is the Sharpsburg battlefield. We are down here. Gonna do what I did the last campaign. We're gonna hide this. We've got 965 men with mixed muskets. Got 965 men with mixed muskets. Let's go ahead and see what the orders are going to come through as. Pelham with the Wise Artillery right next to us. Take over command. Okay. To coordinate. I could actually ask Jackson. Alright. Reserve. I request you to support the Army of the Shenandoah as a reserve. Deploy to the unit's immediate rear, provide support at its flanks if required, and wait for further opportunities to support its operations. But, what? Okay. We're gonna move out. Let's go ahead and speed things along here. Move along the pontoon bridge. Towards the pontoon bridge, I should say. Waiting for everybody to cross. Let's do it with the First Virginia. Nice. How are we doing? Fragmented. This is our first battle. I don't want to go too hard on the boys. Marching, we're winded. So winded, we're probably good to that we start in reserve. It looks like we are now moving through the town of Sharpsburg. Yep, we're still on the same road. There's the Wise Artillery. So it looks like we're following our units well. If that artillery would please get a move on, or let us pass. Okay. So we are now moving here. Our scouts report enemy units are spotted in our area of operations. Deploy your regiment and engage the enemy. I'm going to engage, or head over here. Plus 10, combat zone reached. Let's slow things down. So, Stuart, you just rushed in and got yourself beat up. I'm going to deploy skirmishers. Seems like the intelligent thing to do. Just gonna have my main line lay down. Where's the rest of our troops? Because this is this the 1st and 2nd Brigade? Where's Stonewall? Oh, that is Stonewall. Okay. 5th Virginia, 7th Georgia, 22nd. Okay. Second Virginia over here has not taken casualties yet. Yeah, let's go ahead and advance the skirmishers. I hope this is not our full force. Let me actually... Okay, there's still a bunch moving. We just have to hold on for a second. Till they actually get up here. And did the Union get both objectives? They did. Okay. Oh, the skirmishers now kneel down. That's nice. Right, I haven't been given orders to attack. These are detachments and Jackson's brigade. Although 7th Georgia is now going forward. Kind of want to support on this side if I'm going to support. Okay, so we haven't gotten anything for killing the enemy yet. You're another detachment. Stewart, 13 casualties and you're done. Jerome Robinson, 1st Tennessee Infantry? Wouldn't he would take over the Texas Brigade from John Bell. Interesting. Let's see who all is back here. Elsie with the Marylanders. A.P. Hill in the 13th Infantry. Why are they in the far back? That's unlike Hill. Let's see here. Looks like the Virginians are advancing. I'm beginning to wonder if I should as well. If these guys go forward, then I think I can swing against these detachments. Right now, I kind of want to hold. So it looks like the Union are advancing here. And Rockbridge Artillery, you're firing. Oh, why are you going that far up? That just seems bad. They didn't give Jackson better weapons. Interesting. Okay, we've taken 2 casualties. And you guys, where are you going? Are we bunching up in here? Alright, I'm going to advance next to the artillery. Let's go ahead. 1 casualty inflicted. Yay! Or 1 point, I guess, for casualties inflicted. Are we going to be in range? Oh, yes! That works. Actually, since they're laying down, I'm going to advance just a hair more. Alright, what do we got here? Engage at will. Lieutenant Colonel, as your regiment is deployed and in contact with the enemy, continue to engage the enemy at will using your own discretion. Break the enemy's line and whip them. I will do our best. As they lay down, so I'm facing the 4th Maryland. Well, 6 casualties over here. End of day. Damn. Resupplied. Okay, that's good. Do we get to reposition at all? I guess that was our repositioning. Okay, so that... reserve. I request you to support the Army of Shenandoah as a reserve. Deploy to the immediate rear. What? I'm supposed to deploy back here? I mean, as you wish. Let me go ahead and recall our skirmishers then, too. So we've gotten 2 prestige from casualties inflicted. Yeah, let's... So B's brigade's heading this way too. Why are you holding so much in reserve? And only half of Bartow's brigade. We've taken 21 casualties. What's this symbol? Unit is cut off. Okay. So we got another combat zone reached. Is this... Yeah, this is Bartow, so you're pulling back entirely. Let's see where this is going. Maybe a redeployment? I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, if we were going to pull back, I would say pull back to the sunken road. Or this fence line. Or something defensible. But let's waste half the day. We're well rested. Which I guess is the benefit of sitting back here. Stone wall for cover. That's definitely nice. Bartow's heading back and forth, back and forth. Okay. 7th George is still pulling back. So is Pelham. I mean, we didn't take that great a casualty. I guess they did. Just an artillery duel at this point. Artillery's advancing by itself? Okay. Let's see. I mean, already been 4 hours this morning. We're supposed to be on the attack still. I wonder why there's no No initiative. I know it's Johnson, but come on. Cohesion. Okay, so we're improving our cohesion at least. Up to intact. Does this have a tooltip? I wish we could see the levels. Different levels there. We're sitting back here with our brigade in Sharpsburg, letting the time pass. Looks like they recovered Stewart. I mean, what? Minor defeat. We had the better of them. Can we not go forward? Huh. Matching attitudes. Can I not, like, influence you? Don't have the prestige. Okay. Okay. Can we do something here, guys? I mean, we started this battle 5 a.m. And now we're just using 2 artillery batteries to bombard them. At least they don't seem to be firing back. Oh, which one's this? Allen. Oh, captured guns. And captured guns. Okay, we're driving off detachments that are just getting... Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Bipolar... What? Bipolar disorder. You woke not feeling like yourself. It seems your split personality has taken over. Whether it is a good or bad thing remains to be seen. Maybe it's the stress of combat that triggered it, but for now, your command style and leadership has completely changed. How so? I can't... That's... How did my leadership style completely change? I do not understand. And that's not really how bipolar works. It'd be manic depressive. I mean, they're describing multiple personality syndrome, not bipolar disorder. Not that I'm an expert, but that's my understanding at least. Okay, Johnson, can we please move forward? Let us at least engage the enemy, sir. I mean... I'm gonna advance. The hell with this. Let's see what's out here. I mean, I held that position long enough. It's almost nighttime. I'm not gonna get engaged too heavily. Let's see if I can find their flank. Yet. It's down the road a little bit further. How about into these trees? Okay, how about sending forth some skirmishers to attack that battery. Sending the 8th Georgia up this way. I mean, this is risky, but... Okay. Alright, we're in a bad position. Let's move over here. Get a better line of sight. Yes. And lay down. And keep firing with the skirmishers against the artillery. Don't know how many casualties we need to cause. Okay, we got a prestige point. Looks like we're about to drive off that battery. Did we just get another one? Oh, we're still at 3. Okay. Drove off the battery. Stop. Hell. Come on, Johnson. I'm giving you a golden opportunity here to advance. Advance something. Please. End of day. Troops resupplied. Oh, so they redeploy for us. Okay. I mean, if they're going to fall back, let's advance and take this. Yes. To hell with your orders of reserve. I'm going to capture the objective. This is actually an excellent hill. Takes a vantage point. Although at this point that kind of puts us at having to cross a stone bridge. Actually, can you boys advance a little further, and maybe we're able to shoot these guys? A little bit further, maybe? Rise Ford is captured. Alright, let's recall skirmishers. Head back here, because I don't know why. McLaren. Well, I guess I moved away at an appropriate time. It looks like the Union are finally advancing. Why are we holding Sharpsburg itself and not the objectives? Objective taken. Oh, nice. So it does give us more points. Good to know. This... Does that give us more points? Or is this just where we should have been all along? Okay. Tact, well rested. Yeah. Just making sure. So this is Stonewall's troops. Where's Bartow? Bartow's over here. Wise. Okay. So it should be more in this position. Oh. Staunton artillery is still... Why are you over there? Okay. Definitely need a more aggressive commanding general. This battle's about to go in its third day, and we've barely been engaged at all. I mean, I've been all over the damn battlefield, and I've taken less than 50 casualties at this point. Come on, issue us some sort of order, please. Granted, the Union seems so incompetent they can't even... What are they doing over here? Come on. This has got to be the strangest battle ever. And with 917 men, I can't take on 15,000 by myself. I mean, Turner Ashby's back here just hanging out. And I've got this thing going as fast as possible, so... Johnson, you're not... Kirby Smith... Bartow. Take over command. So I could take over command of the brigade. I sincerely hope that this is not how the battles are always going to go. Okay, we're continuing with day 3. Let's go ahead. Get our soldiers into the box. Looks like we're moving forward a little bit. And the box keeps moving. Oh, where'd the box go? Up there? Over here. Over here? Okay. Let's see. Deploy to engage. Our scouts report enemy units are spotted in the area of our operations. Deploy your regiment and engage the enemy. Alright, the Union is advancing finally on day 3. And we're in a traffic jam. Come on, guys. Uncluster yourselves. There we go. We're moving. Fusion. Yep. Let's get over here. Yeah, we're set to long range. Go and take on this cavalry unit if we can before they're going to cross the bridge. Okay. Let's go ahead and get over here to the left of the 2nd Mississippi. Let's actually fill in that gap. Come on, boys. Advance. Engage at will. As your regiment is deployed and in contact with the enemy, continue the engagement at will using your own discretion. Break the enemy's line and whip them. Okay, I think if our boys would move. Come on. Disrupted. We're about to be in firing range. There we go. Let's beat them, boys. Alright, driven off that unit. 11th Mississippi. Got the 2nd Mississippi next to us. Who is this? 7th Virginia. Turner Ashby, yeah, you should probably not be engaged. There are now 3 regiments firing on the 83rd New York. He's laying down. I think we might get the 87th New York coming in here, maybe. We got troops on the other side of the river. Alright, we've got 2 more. Prestige. Up to 6 on casualties inflicted. And of course, Jackson and his 2nd Virginia are somewhat blocking our troops. The enemy is retreating. There we go. Let's go ahead and deploy against the 85th New York here. The 2nd Mississippi is going to be in our way, of course. Let's file to the right. Oh man, Jackson is taking it to him. 3 days of battle, and all of a sudden, now we are pressing our troops forward. We're winded. But at this point, we got to keep on going. Give me some firing angles. 85th New York is broken. 87th New York is broken. Alright, let's let the... Oh, what do we got here? 23rd Pennsylvania is coming up. Let me advance to this little rise as we meet the road. And we open fire again. Let's actually advance a little bit further. Try to get around the 11th Mississippi. There we go. We are firing. 2.3 casualties inflicted, or prestige. Nice. We advance a little further. And we'll keep firing. Another prestige. Now we're firing into their flanks. They should not, they won't last long. 1.3. That was a good volley. At 2.3 prestige, that must have been a really solid volley. Okay, I'm gonna send out skirmishers. And let's fire on the artillery and drive them off. Alright, next up is actually the objective. Is anyone... Man, it's almost dusk. +10 route. So we get prestige for routing enemy units. That is good to know. Let's recall our skirmishers. And we're back to rested. I'm gonna... Alright, let's go... I'm actually going to go up the road. Who's still advancing? 3rd Tennessee, 10th Virginia, 1st Maryland, 13th Virginia. Where the hell is the rest of the brigade? There's Jackson. There's the 7th Georgia, finally. Let's see if I can get in firing position. Day's almost done. There we go. Once again, firing into the enemy. They finally fired into us, but they're falling back. Come on, boys. Pour it into them. Still at minor defeat, but we caused 2,100 casualties to them to our 1,000. That's pretty damn good. 1.8 casualties inflicted. Looks like we've got the 7th Georgia finally coming up to support us. And Bartow's just riding in front of the federal lines. Guess he got a little confused. 2.5 prestige. Doing good, boys. Starting to drive him back. Let's go. Let's press this. Alright, let's tango with the cavalry here, see if we can drive something off. They only have 250 men, so it shouldn't be too dangerous for us. Looks like they've lost a good number of troops already. Anybody? Nobody? Nobody coming to support us? Come on. Drive them off. Cannot send out skirmishers. Alright, they are... I'm gonna fall back. See if I can maybe draw these skirmishers into our line. Nope. But 13th Virginia seems to be... Oh, there goes the 7th Georgia. I'm going to advance back to this little crest. Now that the 7th Georgia's advanced. See if I can pour some more fire into their flank. Yep. Let's go for it. Pour it into them, boys. Please. Seem to be in just... There we go. Now we're firing. 3 casualties inflicted. Looks like they are very low on ammo. We are just low on ammo. Still doing good casualties, and now there's some more troops coming up. I would really like the 7th Georgia to stay and fight, though. It's the end of the day. Troops are slightly resupplied. Alright, let's actually advance to the rear. Hold up, if they're going to give up the objective, I'm going to claim it again. Go. Alright, support friendly union. The army of Shenandoah is under attack by the enemy. My brigade is on the march to support our boys. Take your regiment and move to the stated position as quickly as possible. What is the stated... The bridge. Alright. Objective taken. We're actually getting some good prestige out of this first battle. Who's that? Stewart? Alright, so they're holding on to the second objective. And there's a stone bridge. With 219 casualties, I need to be very careful here. We're going to lay down... There's the 7th Georgia. We're going to let the Army of Shenandoah take this. If I can hit the flank somewhere, and not be too exposed, I will. But this is a bad spot to attack. We have decently low ammunition. We've taken a good number of casualties. Nope. Okay, this battle may not go in our favor. I'm not sure I'm going to be of too much more help. Are we in full retreat at this point? Yeah, we're supporting. Hold up. 7 Georgia's broken. Wait a minute. Where? What? Where are you think you're going? Pull back. Where on... Defeat. Okay, not a big surprise. The battle is lost. The morale of your troops is cracked. Not mine. Yeah, we're nervous because you're taking us right on a road in front of the damn enemy. Come on, boys. Get past this. Don't let them fire on us. Damn it, we're broken. Okay. Speed it along. I mean, we fought well. It doesn't look like we get a negative for breaking or anything. We got 129.3 prestige. Still caused a good number of casualties on their force. Continue. Let's inspect the battlefield here, and I want to see. Let's see here. 2nd Brigade. Nope, that's 1st Brigade. 2nd Brigade. We are the 8th Georgia. We inflicted 117 casualties. That's it? Interesting. How did this... Really? That's all we did? I thought I was commanding this force a lot better than that. Alright. Yeah, apparently we have lost face. Unfortunate middleman. While you surrounded yourself with like-minded companions, sometimes they get you into trouble. You could easily live without. This time, the slave catcher got into a quarrel with a very influential plantation owners, and you had to intervene in order to save his life. As word travels fast, your position is also questioned, and gaining further prestige for time being will be much slower. Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Alright, if I can click 4% progression towards Colonel. Headquarters, no companions. Actions, none available. Battles. I led my unit to the Battle of Harper's Ferry. Alright, can I get the... Oh, we're going to have to fall back here. I've finally seen the elephant. Adrenaline's running in my veins. Such an exciting yet scary affair. Alright, wounded arm. What? You received a severe arm wound from shrapnel or a musket ball. While recovering, your ability to command is impaired, as many duties have to be taken over by other officers in your unit. If the wound does not heal properly, the arm may have to be amputated. I am now wounded in... I was wounded today. The nurses assure me I will live, but the pain is excruciating. Hold up. Disaster at Manassas. So, we're losing everywhere. All right. Let's slow things down. Health and fitness, we're down to 60.9. Let's go ahead and Go for improved provisions. A wounded arm. I wonder why I didn't get that in the actual... Okay, let's see here. Our scouts reported enemy activity nearby. Could be Major General Patterson's Department of Pennsylvania units. I wonder if we engage soon. Okay. 8th Georgia. Can I upgrade? No. Commander. Yeah, we are defamed. Suffering 220 casualties, inflicting only 117. I could have swore we were doing better than that. Let me change uniform. See here. Yeah, I like that. We'll go there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave this. Hold up. Hold on. We are still observing the nearby enemy, but no side seems to want to engage. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna do this as the first episode of our new playthrough, and with the DLC here, the Whiskey and Lemons affair. We just had our first battle. We lost. We performed rather poorly, apparently. I didn't seem to think that, but that's what the game says. The Army of the Potomac is in flight to Fredericksburg. Army of Shenandoah is back to Winchester. We have been defeated everywhere. There does seem to be a random 2nd Division down here near Charlottesville, Virginia. But yeah, I think if maybe they should do this for the Western and the Trans-Mississippi theaters. I think would also be very good to have such a detailed map with so many more towns and rail. There's Petersburg. Here's Richmond, Tredegar, and Richmond Armory. I mean, this is just a lot more detailed. I love this map. But yeah, if you enjoyed this beginning playthrough, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and we're going to continue with this at a fairly rapid pace. Thank you again. Have a good day.